Hi. I'm at home, just building furniture, and I was having a conversation with a friend earlier about just the people in our lives and, dealing with their moods or their behaviors and their habits and the way they deal with conflict on like a regular basis. And something that I said kind of stayed with me where I feel like I just needed to record it. But I said communication is a symptom. It's a symptom of something deeper, like poor communication, good communication, hostile communication, right? It's not enough to fix the communication problem. Like, you need to work on your communication, right? We've heard that before, or we've said that before. It's more like there's something going on deeper underneath the surface, beneath the communication. And I've been kind of wrestling with that lately because sure, communication is a problem, but like there's like a desire. There needs to be a desire to want to communicate better. There needs to be a desire to want to relate to people better or to be understood. For me, for my story in my life, something I hate is being misunderstood with my words or like my intentions or the way things come off and how I mean for them to sound or not. And a large part of that I can't control, right? Like, I can't control how someone takes something or receives something, definitely not based on how they've lived their lives or anything. But for me, I've always enjoyed coming up with the perfect string of sentences to make somebody feel exactly what I wanted to portray or how I wanted to make it feel, or exactly how my sentences land. And it takes trial and error. Like, even in talking through this right now, it's kind of like talking is like drafts over and over. Like, every sentence is a draft until I get to the final meaning of what I'm trying to say. But and just in explaining that, I lost my train of thought. But let me think. Communication is a symptom. Right. In my own life, I went to college for English literature. And in that, I learned how to, I read a lot. I have like a normal vocabulary, I've seen a lot of sentences and how sentences are put together or meanings are put together, the linguistics of things, like all this stuff. So I've wanted and made it kind of a mission or like a side quest, a subquest of my entire life to communicate well, because how we portray ourselves, how we communicate our intentions, body language, like through our words, is very important. And I've always enjoyed being transparent with people about that, or just like who I am. So it's easy for me to communicate certain things and feelings and name words to feelings and words to experiences and all of that. So when I'm met with people who haven't done that same work, or I'm, I work in close proximity to some people who haven't done that same work, it becomes difficult because then now I'm overcompensating for their lack of work in that area. And they may not be fully aware of it, right? And then for me, I get frustrated because it's like, now I'm doing the work for both of us. And this doesn't just happen in work. It happens in like my relationships. It happens like in my family. Just the other day, I sent my family group chat, flight prices to go travel. And nobody said anything, I'm like, oh, like it's cheap. Everybody was mentioning like, oh, like let's book our tickets early. So I sent it, but then everyone's like, oh my gosh, it's cheap. I've never seen it that cheap. But then like no communication or follow up to be like, I'll send you money to book it right now. I'll do this. Let's book it. It's just me doing the work of being like, hey guys, I found these tickets. And then no, it's like kind of like talking to a brick wall, right? So I think at this point in life, I'm not even faulting people for having poor communication, Because like if you want to communicate, you'll do it. If you want to relate to people well, you'll do it. If you want to learn more and have words and names to your experiences, you will go out of your way to create that for yourself and develop those tools and have that in your emotional tool belt, like, you know, your communication tool belt. But if you don't want to do that, you're not going to. And it's like not my responsibility to pull teeth and kind of try to get that out of you. I as a person living in this earth, like I can only inspire that, right? Like I can't force somebody to do something. I can only create inspired action by being myself, by like in doing that. And this is like a spectrum, right? And I'm not perfect. And I never know when I'm doing something unless I get feedback, or when I'm not doing something unless I get feedback. But I like to be pretty self-aware of like how I come across, or the things I do or ask of people. But at work especially, like it's kind of been like a whole thing, because there's lots of conflict that happens when there's one person that is kind of more willing to go that extra mile, or like even just, I guess, accept that some people aren't willing to do the work of communication or even want to, even knowing that it's going to benefit them in the long run. And then work isn't like, doing that work isn't even an overnight thing too. It's like it's just a commitment to doing it. Like, because you take whatever, 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. It's a regression. It's like a stock. It goes up and down and up and down. But like the point is, it's steadily rising. But I guess if you're hurting people in that process, then that's a different story. If you're not repairing after conflict over miscommunication or over a lack of communication or whatever it is, that's a different story. Because then at that point you're being selfish. You're not doing it in relation to others who you're working with or with. You're not doing it at all. You're just not taking any accountability or committing to growth in that way that requires you to self-reflect, or again, take accountability for what you're saying or what you're not saying. So yeah, communication is a symptom of something, like a desire to relate well to other people, to have that depth, that emotional depth, to have that relational depth, to have deep friendships, to have deep connections, deep relationships with other people, work relationships, whatever that is. And when you commit to staying the same or just not doing that work, then that says a lot about you. Like it says that, and I think I'm learning to not push or to just leave people where they're at in their own journeys when it comes to that. Because I guess not being ignorant to these types of things, naturally you want to like build other people up or heal other people or love other people into doing these things because you see potential or you see what they could be, or they've shown little glimmers of what. But at the end of the day, people are going to do what they want to do and not what you want them to do. And communicating and repairing and relating and all these things that are important in developing deep relationships with people is work, is daily work. And there are daily choices we make, daily opportunities that come our way to either nourish or neglect that skill. So, not sure. I felt very called to just put my phone up and say this, like I'm building a table right now. But yeah, so whoever saw this or needed this, thanks for listening. Bye.